Good evening. And welcome to the Labor Day edition of Sequester with Sue for 2022. I'm going to be playing, well, I was going to say some newer songs for what I've been doing, but actually they're mostly all from like from 1910 to 1914. Except there's a Woody Guthrie tune that I'm not sure what year that's from, but I know it's not the 1910s. I'm going to start out with a tune that actually it started out as a poem that Mary Marcy wrote in 1913. She was the managing editor of the International Socialist Review and one of the leading radical writers at the time. And in the big red book for the wobbly tunes, it's put in there as a poem, and it seems like perhaps she was thinking of pairing it with the Wabash Cannonball because the meter is just it fits, and so that's what I did. I put it with the Wabash Cannonball, and I've modified the title as well. I think she called it "It's Up to You." I can't remember, but I think I'm calling it "It's Up to Me and You." But here it is. I do not heed the preacher when he tells us to forbear. I don't like wild effusions over deals that should be square. But when I hear a socialist bewail their sordid lot, parading all the upper dogs, I say that makes me hot. For it's up to you and me, oh, it's up to us today. You never see the man on top abbreviate his stay. To do a little work and X our fellow workers too. Keep in mind the thought that it's up to me and you. There is no use in fuming about the capitalist lot. We simply got the things today we want and haven't got. He's keen about his interests and he takes the way to win. There's no use in yelling about that robber's crime and sin. 'Cause it's simply up to us, oh, the owning class is wise. We'll get their abdication when we're angels in the skies. So pull yourself together and in what you say and do, remember this is our fight and it's up to me and you. Give yourself a hunch, the 1% is on, and they'll be living in their luxury when we are dead and gone. If we do not get together, cease to wait and stew. Recognize the fact that it's up to me and you. Yes, it's up to you and me, oh, it's up to us today. You never see the man on top abbreviate his stay. Do a little work and X our fellow workers too. Keep in mind the thought that it's up to me and you. That's up to me and you. And I'm going to be putting that on my next CD that hopefully is going to be coming out in October. I'm hoping the doggy is not going to mess with this setup too much. I thought I was going to knock everything over a second ago, but... Okay, this next one is... Oh no, please, pup. Go sit down somewhere. Alright. Well, he can't knock over the microphone. If the picture goes... I'll set it back up after I'm done with the song. But, this is Painter Red, and the words were written by Elmer Rumbaugh, who was a miner in West Virginia, and date for this song is 1914. Oh, and the tune is Marching Through Georgia. Come with us, you working folks, and join the rebel band. Come, you discontented ones, and give a helping hand. We march against the parasites and drive them from the land with one big industrial union. Hurrah, hurrah, we're gonna paint her red. Hurrah, hurrah, the way is clear ahead. We're gaining sharp democracy, liberty, and bread with one big industrial union. Factory and field and mine, we gather in our might. We're on the job and know the way to win the hardest fight. Like the beacon that will guide us out of darkness into light. His one big industrial union. Hurrah, hurrah, we're gonna paint her red. Hurrah, hurrah, the way is clear ahead. We're gaining sharp democracy, liberty, and bread with one big industrial union. Come on, folks, now get in line. We'll fill the boss with fears. Red's the color of our flag. It's stained with blood and tears. We'll flout it in his ugly mug and raise our lousy cheers for one big industrial union. Hurrah, hurrah, we're gonna paint her red. Hurrah, hurrah, the way is clear ahead. Gaining sharp democracy, liberty, and bread with one big industrial union. Use words like essential, but won't pay us what we're worth. When we hit their pocketbooks, we'll spoil their smiles and mirth. We'll wreck their dirty dividends and drive them from the earth with one big industrial union. Hurrah, hurrah, we're gonna paint her red. Hurrah, hurrah, the way is clear ahead. Gaining sharp democracy, liberty, and bread with one big industrial union. One big industrial union. And that's Painter Red. And I see the dog did not knock over the display, which is nice of the dog. Alrighty. It's the first time I've tried to do this one in front of anybody, except for the dog. And eventually, I think, once I put my accordion back together, this is going to be not a guitar, but an accordion tune. It just seems like it might work better that way. But this is a Joe Hill tune. Should I Ever Be a Soldier? Oh, and I'm gonna wait till the dog figures out what the dog is doing. Hop down. Sorry about this. Alright, there we go. As long as he doesn't start trying to chew on everything. Down here. Okay. This was a song that Joe Hill wrote back in 1913. We're spending billions every year for guns and ammunition. Our army and our navy dear to keep in good condition. Millions live in misery and millions die before us. Don't sing my country, 'tis of thee, but sing this little chorus. Should I ever be a soldier, 'neath the red flag I would fight. Should a gun I ever shoulder will be to crush the tyrant's might. Oh, in the army of the toilers, men and women fall in line. Wage slaves of the world arouse, do your duty for the cause, for land and liberty. Many maiden pure and fair, her loving pride must offer on Mammon's altar of despair to fill the master's coffer. The gold that pays the mighty fleet from tender youth he squeezes, while brawny men must walk the street, face the wintry breezes. And should I ever be a soldier, 'neath the red flag I would fight. Should a gun I ever shoulder would be to crush the tyrant's might. Join the army of the toilers, men and women fall in line. Wage slaves of the world arouse, do your duty for the cause, for land and liberty. Why do they mount the Gatling guns 1,000 miles from ocean, where a hostile fleet would never run? Ain't that a funny notion? If you don't know the reason why, then strike for better wages. And then, my friend, if you don't die, you'll sing this song for ages. Should I ever be a soldier, 'neath the red flag I would fight. No, a gun I ever shoulder would be to crush the tyrant's might. Join the army of the toilers, men and women fall in line. Wage slaves of the world arouse, do your duty for the cause, for land and liberty. Ooh, that's out of tune now. Anyway, that's Joe Hill's Should I Ever Be a Soldier. It was set to the tune of Colleen Bawn, which apparently there were a few different versions, like that name went with a few different songs. But yeah, I can't remember for sure who wrote the musical part of that, but I'm gonna do a Woody Guthrie tune here. Okay, this is Jesus Christ by Woody Guthrie. Oh, I don't want that on there. Jesus Christ was a man that traveled through the land, hard-working man and brave. Said to the rich, give your goods to the poor, and they laid Jesus Christ in his grave. Yes, Jesus was a man, carpenter by hand, followers were true and brave. One dirty little coward called Judas Iscariot laid poor Jesus in his grave. Went to the preacher, went to the sheriff, told them all the same. Sell all your jewelry, give it to the poor, and they laid Jesus Christ in his grave. When Jesus came to town, all the working folks around believed what he did say. But the bankers and the preachers, they nailed him to the cross and laid Jesus Christ in his grave. Now the working people followed him around, sang and shouted gay. But the cops and the soldiers, they nailed him in the air and they laid Jesus Christ in his grave. People held their breath when they heard about his death. Everybody wondered why. It was the landlord and soldiers that he hired that nailed Jesus Christ in the sky. This song was made in New York City, a rich man and preachers and slaves. But if Jesus was to preach what he preached in Galilee, they would lay poor Jesus in his grave. Now the working people followed him around, sang and shouted gay. But the cops and the soldiers nailed him in the air and laid Jesus Christ in his grave. That was a Woody Guthrie tune. What's next on the set list? Oh, okay. I guess I don't need my notes anymore since I'm getting into the things that I wrote. Now, this is a newer tune. And I think now I've settled on the title, What We Need. I've been trying to figure out what... I've been working on finishing the song. And I think maybe I've done it now. Well, the owning class, they're doing fine. Their economy is booming. They got yours and they got mine. Evictions now are looming with costs through roof and basement pay. We're getting squeezed and thrown away by the robber barons of the day. And what we need is one big union. They work in mandatory overtime to create their record profits, but they never raise your pay a dime. Simply put it in their pockets, with costs through the roof and basement pay. We're getting squeezed and thrown away by the robber barons of the day. And what we need is one big union. At a meeting that you can't decline, the bosses say, just trust us. Your welfare is what's on our minds, while we hire our union busters with costs through the roof and basement pay. We're getting squeezed and thrown away by the robber barons of the day. And what we need is one big union. Well, when workers fight to organize and are fired by their bosses, 10 more in their place will rise for everyone who's tossed out with costs through the roof and basement pay. We're getting squeezed and thrown away by the robber barons of the day. And what we need is one big union, with costs through the roof and basement pay. We're getting squeezed and thrown away by the robber barons of the day. And what we need is one big union. That's one of my newer songs called What We Need. And this is another one of my tunes here. I believe this one's called These Days. All got our own hard times these days. Even though they're billionaires, they're playing Rockin' Man while the world bakes. For each and everyone had that childhood fantasy delayed and well. I got our own hard times these days. But it's been foretold, the gilded coffers overfill, overflow, and trickle gold and shower riches on the people down below. I got our own hard times these days. And now you got these owners standing staring at an empty space and a note tacked to the wall says we all quit this lousy job with lousy pay. We all got our own hard times these days. And it's been foretold, the gilded coffers overfill, overflow, and trickle gold and shower riches on the people down below. I got our own hard times these days. The masters of their industries were sure they'd make the workers cave, but they're voting in the unions despite billions spent and workers sent away. I got our own hard times these days. And it's been foretold, the gilded coffers overfilled will overflow and trickle gold and shower riches on the people down below. I got our own hard times these days. It's even reached the profiteers whose job it is to legislate, and the markets they so freely play are stuffed with stuff they regulate, and maybe some complaints. But we all have our own hard times these days. And it's been foretold, the gilded coffers overfill, overflow, and trickle gold and shower riches on the people down below. Down below. All right, so that's these days. What's next on the set list? All right, this one's from 1910, and this was on my CD Up with the Masses. It came out last year, and it's well, at the time that it was written, he was writing it for Rockefeller, John Rockefeller, It's called John Dee's Soliloquy, but John's been gone for a while, and it really fits with Jeff B. And so I've been calling it Jeff B's Soliloquy. And here it is. 10 million workers, sweat and toil, increasing my wealth and fame. With wages small, but I tell them all, hey, our interests, they're the same. Their leaders, they repeat my words, and politics holds sway, which pleases me, 'cause I like to see them vote in the same old way. Grub is soaring out of sight, and the clothing is extra high, and house rents upwards take their mark, to the heavens fly. And wages take the toboggan route, and downward down they go. Come winter time, working folks will have to live on snow. Some stand pat for Democrat, some for the GOP, but both will use that riot gun whenever it pleases me, or split their force in the great sham fight, for none understand the game. Whoever wins of my faithful twins, I boodle just the same. Grub is soaring out of sight, and the clothing is extra high. The house rents upwards take their course, and to the heavens fly. Wages take the toboggan route, and downward down they go. Come winter time, our working folks will have to live on snow. Cast their vote for the 12-hour boss, strike for an 8-hour day, which cheers me so that I overflow with mirth and reduce their pay. They strike like fools, vote like seals, and land in the big bullpen. And I laugh and say, my interests are the same as you working men. Grub is soaring out of sight, and the clothing is extra high, and house rents upwards take their course, and to the heavens fly. Wages take the toboggan route, and downward down they go. Come winter time, working folks will have to live on snow. That was Jeff B's Soliloquy. I think I'm just going to do a couple more here. Do one more of my tunes and another Guthrie tune. And I wonder. I think I wrote this in 1995. And it's either on it's either on the One Man Ceiling CD or Welcome Home. But I think I'm going to put it on, redo it in a different way and put it on this next CD that's coming up. Hopefully in October. It's called Over Us. And it come to the end of believing what you've had to say. Everything we've made into this day will come back to us with what we sent away. And it's come to the time for our grieving, for what we haven't saved. It seems you try to hold on to believe in that way. I never needed it all anyway. Hey, and I know everything's just a part of what we'll be. Everything is not a tool for the human race. Well, it's more than what we see. And it's come to the time for our leaving. The place we're at today. You say you don't want to have to pay for the changes, but whatever made you think what we have today is cheap? Poisoning her mother, dying in her hands. Once we've raped all the life from the land, now can you tell me who put it back again? And I know everything's just a part of what will be. Everything is not a tool for the human race. Well, it's more than what we see. I can tell you that I'm frightened, most of what I see. The clouds that we have coming over us now, well, they were never meant to be. And it's past time for our grieving, for what we cannot save. Never could take to believe in that way. I never needed it all anyway. Hey, and I know everything's Is everything just a part of what will be? And everything is not a tool for the human race. Well, it's more than what we see. Let's see. I won't make you stay here for an hour this time. I'm just gonna finish up with Woody Guthrie's "All You Fascists," because it seems a good song to sing these days. I'm getting tired of the fascists. But thank you for joining me for another session of Sequester with Sue, the Labor Day edition. And as always, I'm going to try to come back here maybe next week or the week after that. But stuff happens. So, anyway, this is Woody Guthrie's "All You Fascists." I'm gonna tell you fascists, you might be surprised. People in this world, well, we're getting organized, and you're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. All you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Race hatred cannot stop us. This one thing we know well. Your poll tax and your Jim Crow and your greed has got to go. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. I say all you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. All you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. And now people of every color marching side by side. Well, we're marching across these fields where 1 million fascists died. You're bound to lose. Fascists bound to lose. Oh, all you fascists bound to lose. I said all you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. All you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Well, I'm going into this battle. I'm gonna take my Union gun and we'll free this world of slavery. For this battle's won, you're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. I said all you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. All you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Okay, you should have picked up on the chorus by now. I'm gonna do it a couple more times, and I'll just take it on faith that you're singing along with me, 'cause I can't hear you. Neither can anybody else, so you can sing loud. All you fascists bound to lose. I said all you Yes, sir. All you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. All you fascists bound to lose. I said all you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. All you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. One more time. All you fascists bound to lose. I said all you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. All you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. And thank you all for joining in. I'm going to go thank my doggy for not knocking anything over while we were doing this. Yeah, now I'm going to have a brain vacation here, so I'm going to just wrap it up. I'm just, in case you happen upon this and have no idea what's going on, my name's Sue Jeffers, and this is my Labor Day edition of my online concert series, Sequester with Sue. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll be maybe seeing you next week. And happy Labor Day, and dump those bosses off your back.